getting the little attachments put onto the carburetor so we can get the throttle cable hooked back up. And I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do adjustment wise to get the kickdown cable hooked up as well. So throttle cable will be hooked up. That's going to work out good. All right. Now, I'm going to see what I can do about the kickdown cable. I'm going to try to get the hardware put on the carburetor for the kickdown cable. Work. Return springs. I'm going to hook back up onto the linkage. Let's get the hardware for the carburetor. Alright, we're going to go ahead and stick the hardware, the nuts back onto the carburetor. We'll go ahead and snug up the hardware on the carburetor. I did get it installed and kind of cinched down a little bit. Go ahead and tighten it down somewhat. All right, cool. So the carburetor's in place. I'm gonna grab some side cuts. I'm gonna trim a few of these vacuum lines and get them hooked up as well. First vacuum line put on, just trim up that edge because it snapped on us when I pulled it off the other day. give. Give me a second, I'm fighting this thing. I got this little black vacuum line on finally. I can run the brake booster on the front of the carburetor here. Got plenty of line, have to keep that down. I'm going to get a little rubber fuel line to hook up and just a fuel filter, so I don't have to go changing a whole lot here. I can just kind of just get it hooked up right here. Get it hooked up. Get this hooked up so we can feed the carburetor. Kick down cable, throttle cable, hardware's tightened up. And then I need to get a block off because I went and picked up a vacuum tube and put it on the back of the carburetor. That or I can take it out and I can put that Allen head in there. I think that's what I'm going to do. Here's the little nipple I bought, the threaded nipple I bought for the back side of the carburetor. And the Edelbrock carburetor actually come with a plug off. It's an Allen head. I'm going to screw that in on the back side of the carburetor because we're not going to use it for anything right now. We have everything else hooked up like it should be. So, alright, cool. I got a little Allen head socket deal, so I can put this plug in the back of the carburetor. Funny story, Maddox and I built a 1947 International KB back in 2016. I had bought a new Edelbrock carburetor like this one, and we had put it on the truck, and we was in a rush to get it, get it on the truck and get on the road. Well, man, we fought and fought with that truck. It didn't want to run. It kept dying, and idle was funny. Had to idle it up a ton, and it was just giving us fits. And I'm like, man, what the hell is wrong with this thing? Well, we left that little plug out in the back of the carburetor. So, if you ever get one of these Edelbrock carburetors, check to be sure you have that little plug on the back side of it. So that one's in, and it was giving us fits, and my dad came down and we was tooling around with it, and he ended up finding it, and everything worked out great. We got on the road and took our trip together, so good times. All right. See, got the return spring kit sitting here. Okay, back here in the back. Alright, I got the stubborn spring kit on. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but got the kick down cable set. Got it on as well. Get the throttle cable snapped into place. Maybe. Not breaking my thumb. Get some of these tools off the intake. This bar is starting to get on my nerves. Really debating on pulling it off there. Alright, we should be getting pretty close. Alright, so I ganked some parts off the 54. Just a little rubber line with the fuel filter. going to run it in here and then get our braided supply line hooked up. Let's see, is that going to fit? Clamp. Pull that sucker. Oh, man, got me. Still braided lines stink. Man, this sucks. Get on there. Hope I can get it back. Start back up. I can't see it. Alright. Maybe. I think so. Alright. Down. Tight. Everything's out of the way. I don't want to kink it. Probably should trim it. Probably should trim it just a touch. Bring it in, so yeah. Get the side cuts. Alright, I'm going to trim off about half of this fuel line, so it's not too crazy. Alright, here we go. Slide down, some kinked. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright. That. Alright. I need a flathead screwdriver. Let's pause this real quick. Man, what the hell?
Why is it
That,
smoking?
I know that engine is I can't even see where it's coming from. But it's burning oil. We had our hands all over everything. We was, did all the header gaskets, the collector gaskets, but it's almost like it's, I'm not sure. Can't see. Trying to see if there's any like,
More smoke somewhere in there?
yeah, like maybe on the other side. Let me go on the other side. Like there's a puddle of oil on something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I found it over here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of oil or something?
Yeah, it's just oil on the block, and it's coming down the starter. It came down the starter and it's dripped onto the exhaust. So
is it a constant drip or is
I-
it just something
it-
from old?
I don't think it's dripping. I think it's a seep. I think it's seepage. I can go through and snug up the valve covers and make sure those are cool. But, you know, with it sitting as long as it's been sitting, you know, it's gonna have some kinks to work out. Just want to see what it. I'm gonna try to hit the key again. I want to see what it does.
Okay.
Yes, the true test would be when you do a code start on it. If it fires off on the code start, or if you gotta. Everything I ever do, you gotta pump it twice. Top pump, and then it fires off. So, like, once it cools down, and then you do a code start on it, that's when you find out, like, okay, it's either firing right off or it's gonna and then hit it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, feels good to hear it run, though.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard it in a while.
Oh, a long time.
I know.
About 2 years.
Probably. Maybe. I have to see. Mom has videos the last time you drove it.
Well, last summer, we tore it apart. We tore the top side of the engine and stuff apart, changed the engine mounts, you know, the header gaskets, spark plugs, collectors. I mean, went through it. And then Dad was like, man, I want to see if you can adjust that Holly out for me, you know. And yesterday fired it up. It ran, and it was way worse than this, you know, because it was just sucking so much fuel and blowing it blow by, and I was just smoking all to be hell, and that carburetor was leaking down onto the intake, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to try to fix this. So I went and got the fuel filter off the 54, and a small piece of fuel line. So that's all. So it's got the feed. It's all hooked up. I need to take the ball thread out of the center of the Holly, put it in this, so we can put the velocity, the breather back on it.
Oh, okay. So how long do you usually have to wait to do a cold start?
I just, you know, when you can touch it by hand,
Oh, okay.
you just let it sit. You know, tomorrow you can come out here tomorrow and hit it. Like if I'm not here, you can come out here tomorrow and hit it. Just don't let it run for a real long time. Because we need to top off the antifreeze and let the system burp and all that stuff. I went ahead and took the support bar out because it was just in the way. Dad had it unhooked, but when you got it hooked up, that bar goes right over top of the radiator cap, and you can't even take the cap out.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, man, I don't know. And I know why. After me and Josh was kind of looking at it yesterday, me and Jesse, I mean, was looking at it yesterday, and it's like he didn't have enough length on that rod. So, but I'm just gonna leave it out for now, and then you know we can put it back in later. It was just kind of in the way, working around it. But
Well, sounds good.
yeah, and it'll clear up. It's always ran great. I'm done with it for tonight.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow come back out, top off the radiator, do a cold start on it, get the breather back on it with the gasket. That'd be it. Did a good job.
You did good. You did do a good job.
That's it for this one. Till next time, y'all have a good one.